I have on a bench this morning a Pioneer SX780. It's in beautiful shape. Doesn't even have a scratch on this. The owner of this Pioneer wants to put the new STK kit that you can buy online. He wants to keep this forever. He's satisfied with this receiver and he loves it. So he went and bought the STK 0050 kit that you can buy online, and this is it right here. He wants me to install those on here. Meanwhile, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the STK that are already in here. Not sure if they're the original, but we'll find out if they are or not. So what I'm planning on doing with this is I'm planning on installing the new STK 0050 in here. But before I do that, I want to test this. I want to see how many watts per channel I'm getting with the original, if they are original. And we can kind of compare. They say that we may get more wattage per channel with these STK module kits. So I'm here to test that with you guys and give you an idea if you guys are thinking of buying these. We'll see how easy it is to install. But it looks pretty simple. I told him that I would take a look at it, and I was pretty happy that I was able to do this video with you guys. And I'm really interested because I'll tell you why. I have a Pioneer SX780 with the same issue. One of the STK on the right channel is out, and I've already taken it apart, and I had ordered, but I ordered these STKs. I didn't order those ones. Those ones are quite expensive. But just to show you the STK this is from another receiver, but very same is in here, right? So this is the original. I've heard and read about these, and they're really, really good. The guy that's online sells a lot of them, and there's really good reviews on those. I'd say 100% reviews are excellent, and people are really happy with it. That's why, you know, if you don't mind spending a little money, and if you're planning on keeping this, I'd say that would be the way to go. Okay? But these ones you can still have online. You can buy the set for about 40-50 bucks, depending on where you are or which country you are. But rest assured, they're not the original. Somebody was in here trying to modify this the best that they could. And yes, I assume that some of them are fake. Some of them don't work, but most of them, if you can get a seller that's trustworthy online, I believe that you can get some of these still, and they would still work, you know. But the guy, the customer that owned this, really wants to upgrade this receiver. He loves it, and he wants, like I said, he wants to keep this forever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in. This is how much power I'm getting with the original STK. If they're original, I'm not sure. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll compare. Okay, so let's get to work. Here I'll show you guys what I'm getting. Crank this up. You'll see the result on the scope, and there's the scope. I have a little bit of clipping. I have a little bit of clipping here, so I'll kick this back just a tiny bit. Just about there. And I'm reading 20.4. Look how equal this is, eh? Left and the right. That's what I'm getting. Any DC offset? Let's check it out. Which I don't suspect that I do. Turn this back on. Millivolts. 1.7. That's pretty cool. So there's absolutely no DC volts on this. Check the right side. Oh, the right side had 24 and it was a little high on the right side. But they say, you know, under 20 millivolts you're okay. So you're running a little high on the right channel, which is probably acceptable as well. A little high if you ask me, but not overly. It's nothing dangerous. Okay. Okay, I'm going to power this off and we're going to get to work on this. So we're going to do it right now. Okay, we have the top off. This is the cleanest receiver that I've ever worked on. It's just, it's beautiful. And I like this. I'm going to take the bottom plate off. There we go. I'm exposing the power pack. STK 0050. So I feel a little better by putting the tape on that. Now we're going to flip this around like this. What I want to do is I want to take measurements out of these power packs with my multimeter. This is going to be pretty interesting. Just love doing this stuff. Okay guys, so I'm going to plug this in on a regular outlet. And this is going to be live once I turn this power on. Okay, so you really need to be careful with this. There's the power on. Okay, so if you are looking very closely from these power packs, even though there's 10 legs on each power pack, there's only 3 on each side that are connected. If you check that really closely, you'll be able to see that, eh? So my multimeter is on DC voltage. Okay, so pin 0 is 1.2, pin 0 is 1.2. They're both equal. Let's go to pin 9. There's my voltage, 41.95 on pin 9. Pin 9, 41.9, both equal. There's pin 8. Pin 8, there's no voltage. Okay, pin number 1 is 1.2. 1.2. Pin number 2 is my voltage, minus 41. Let's go to pin number 2. Minus 41. There's pin number 3. 0.01. Pin number 3 on this side. 0.00. Perfect. Okay, so this was just to compare the before and after. Okay, so when I put these new power packs on, I'll be able to compare the voltage. If you've noticed, there are some crummy spots on this circuit board, and I'll show you where. We'll be able to clean this right here, and check right there. I'll show you that closely. Check out this spot. That's pretty crummy, and right here as well. I'll power this off. Okay, so we are going to check the circuitry around here, making sure everything is okay. He wants me to check some of these capacitors as well. Actually, he wants me to check them all, so I will have to do it. But right now, I'm looking at the circuit board, We're going to see if there's any soldering that needs to be retouched, and if there are, I'll point them out to you. Right now I'm just going through it really quick, so it's really not important what I'm doing to you guys right now, but if I do find something, I'll stop it. And this right here, we're going to have to clean that a little bit. There's a little bit of heat around here, and the heat is around this board. Okay, this is part of the power supply. Perfect. Okay, so I've got a lot of high voltage here, and there's my relays back there. We're going to be checking all of these capacitors. There's not a lot of them on this board, so okay. The capacitors are hiding right behind here. I'll check if I have any power on my filter capacitors. There's no juice to this, so that's good. So I'm able to poke a little bit on the capacitor wizard, which I'm going to bring down for this. Okay, let's check the major capacitor on this. Look at that. Yeah, you guys didn't see the needle, eh? So here's the major capacitors. 0 ohm. Perfect. We'll check the other one. The major capacitors are flawless. They're working great. I'm going to be checking these ones right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right on the bottom here that I want to tackle right now. These orange ones up there, I think I will check, but I'm able to check those from here. Okay, this orange one probably needs to be changed. Okay, I'm checking these orange ones right here. They're high in ESR. This one is not. This one is still good. We'll check this one down here. This one is high. I'm testing this board for ESR, checking all these capacitors, and I've changed to 22 microfarad. These two right here, this would be the phono section right here. They were high in ESR. The other ones are checking okay. I'm gonna be checking all these orange ones. These ones down here, these two here are really high in ESR, so we'll change those for sure. But I've already changed 2 of them, so I'm just going to continue on. I don't want to put this on camera because it's just too long, too slow. But I will show you the results after I'm done. Okay, so I flipped over to the power packs. They don't look the original. I'll tell you why. I can scrape the paint off of this, eh? So these are replacement. I believe they are anyway. But you know what? They sounded okay. Okay, so here we are with the power pack ready to come off. See if these are all detached, and they're not. Just still need to touch this end here, but it'll come. Okay. I'll have to mark this as the left. Up. And I will retouch these pins where the soldering is supposed to go in. I think there's some that needs to be retouched. If you unsolder, you put a lot of heat there. It's very common that one of the trays maybe gets damaged, but you can repair that pretty easily. So don't be discouraged if that happens, because it can be repaired quite easily. This one, very sign. I think I've damaged maybe some of the trace on this one, but we'll repair that. Don't worry. As long as this trace does not touch. Okay, so the trace has been retraced. Let's see if I have. So none of these trays are supposed to touch each other. Okay. And my traces here are good. I'll check this one here down. So these traces are not touching, so which is perfect. Okay, I'm just going to clean this out a little bit here. Now, what I need to do is I need to flip this around, and I need to take these, you see these two screws sticking out here? That's for the plate on the other side, and I need to take that plate out of there. Okay, so let's do that. And that's the plate that I'm talking about right here. There's one. 2. 3. It's a stubborn one. Okay, put those there. These are nice plates, eh? There. Okay, so we're ready to flip this back. Got it by being real careful. Okay, so this is how this is going to be done. Now that the plates are out, I'm ready to put the new power packs in. The new module power packs, I should call them. I'm going to show them to you. We'll go through them again. I wanted to show you what the prototype looked like. They come with the package. Came out of it. This is paste that you could put behind the heatsink. So that came with it. All kinds of instructions, parts, and you even got a picture. The schematic is here as well. So this is the service, not the service manual, but it kind of like assembly instruction manual. So that goes with it. Here are the STK 0050 module. And this is what they look like. Looks really nice, eh? I'll zoom you guys in. And there you go. It's really well made. Look at that heatsink plate, eh? The transistors are hooked up to the heatsink, and the circuit board, check out the soldering on this. It's professionally made, and I enjoy that they have the wire is already hooked up to it. All I need to do now is hook this up to the circuit board on the SA780 and we're good to go. Notice there's a trimmer pod here, right here, and the original STK you couldn't set the bias. This one you'll be able to. Okay, and all the instructions are here. So maybe before we put this in, I'm going to check for continuity. Oh, no, I just touched the screw, that's why. But if you touch the flange of the transistor, you are not to have any connection to this. Okay, so I'm touching the flange here, nothing, and nothing. So that's, I just want to make sure that I don't have it short with the heatsink, okay? And it's also mentioning the pod, the R7, this would be the R7 on here. Maybe I can zoom you guys in a little closer. Oh, you guys are pretty good there. I need to make sure that this is counterclockwise. And it is. There's one. And there. Counterclockwise. That would mean it's on neutral or zero or whatever, whichever you want to call it. And pretty self-explanatory. I'll show you the original that came off of this. This is what came out of this SX780 Pioneer. And if you're asking me these are the original, I really don't think they are. I can actually scrape the paint off of this. So I think these were replaced, but nevertheless, the customer never complained about the sound on this. He says the sound, it sounded really nice. So just to show you that you can buy some of these aftermarket, or I know you can't buy these brand spanking new. Like, these have been modified inside here in order for you to get another STK like this, but he's upgraded to this, and I believe this is a lot better. Check out the soldering on this, eh? Well made. There's the heat sink. Yeah, I really like this. Okay, right now I'm just lining myself up to see if this is actually fitting, and it does. It's lining up to the holes right there. And after those two screws are in, this is going to be in place. Then I'll be able to solder 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, and 0 onto this circuit board right here. And give me some lights there. There we go. That's better. Okay, so right now I'm just setting myself up to install these STK module. I want to make sure that this is flat, and it's pretty flat. That all part of this back will be touching the heat sink. There's one. And here's the next one. Yeah, that's pretty flat. So that's good. Change these gloves. Gonna put new gloves on. So we're gonna slap that on there. Okay, so the paste is in. Mention that I hate this paste with a passion. Now this can be pretty tight. So now all I have to do is solder this to the circuit board and I'm all done. But think I'll do this one at the same time. Okay. It's on there really nice and secure. Okay, now I have the wires all set to be soldered on this circuit board. Okay, so you guys can see this. And we are going to do just that. We're done soldering this. I've retouched a couple of spots on this board. They weren't really that bad. This board was pretty good. Okay guys, the brand new module power pack for this Pioneer SX780 has been installed. I've soldered all the components. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to check if I have no continuity in between the pins, and I don't. I'm good there. So it's always a good idea to check, because you may have crossed over. Okay, so that's something you really want to eliminate. Oh, this part is good. Oh, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Everything is good. Okay, there was only pin 1, 2, 3 and pin 8, 9, 0 on each of the channels that I need to solder back on this board, and that's all there was according to the old Darlington power pack anyway. There was only 3 on each side. So we're all done with that. I've checked if I had any connection in between the pins, and I don't, which is really good. I'm ready to test this now. I'm gonna flip this over on this side. And of course, I will have it through the dim bulb bay. Absolutely. But what I'm gonna be looking for with the new power packs is I'm gonna be looking for any shortage on my dim bulb, and if the relay clicks in. If that relay clicks in, we're good to go. Okay, so let's try this. The dim bulb is on right here. We're ready to power this on. Lights on. The relay clicked in, and of course my bulb charged the capacitors, and after that they dim right back down, and now I'm just around the 120 volts right now. So I'm using very little or minimal voltage on this. The current is absolutely fantastic. I'm happy with the results so far. Okay, I'm going to change this to a regular circuit. Try this. See what voltage I'm getting now. Relay just clicked in. It's 42. So there's my plus 42 and there's my minus 42 right down here. Okay. Pin number 9. There's my 42 volts. Plus there's 42 volts on both pins number 9. Everything is exactly the same voltage as what I was getting with the original Darlington power pack. Okay, so everything is working here accordingly. Now, my next step is they want me to test if I have any DC voltage. Okay, so I need to bring this up like this, because remember, they want me to see if I have DC voltage right off the bat. That's what they want me to check, so I'm going to check that right now. Is that possible? I do have DC voltage, eh? Check this one back here. This one is really good. This one is 0.0. This is the left channel. Check out the right channel. Right channel. The right channel has quite a bit of voltage there, but we can adjust that though, and we shall. So that's the first thing they want me to do, and that's the first thing that I'm gonna do. So okay, so I'll use my clips for this. I'll change my probes, and from my probes I will measure my DC voltage. And again, this is the left channel. The left channel is perfect. You guys can see I'm on millivolt. I'm way below 20 millivolts, which is perfect. I don't even have to touch that, but if I did, these are the trim pods right here, left and right, okay? I'm on the left. I'm not even gonna touch this one. Check out the right channel. Look at the right channel. It's in DC voltage, I have 0.1. And I need to bring this down to below, I have 102 millivolts there, right? I need to bring this down to about below 20. So I'm gonna go to this pot right here. They're actually blue on this receiver. And let's bring this down. Oh, going up. Bring this down. There. I'm actually below 20 millivolts now, eh? Look at that. That's bang on. It's actually the same as the left one now, eh? So I have 7.5 millivolts. Put this down to DC voltage. No way. This is bang on. So right now, I'm reading what I'm supposed to have. Okay. Now, with this thing powered on, and it is on a regular outlet, eh? I don't have it plugged in. You see it? It's not plugged in, my dim bulb. This is plugged into a regular outlet. Okay, and this is what they want me to do. Put this on a regular outlet, and our next thing is we're going to set the DC volt for each channel. And according to the service manual, they want me to set this at 20 millivolts. Okay, so 20 millivolts is coming up. All right. So right now I'm ready to adjust the right channel with the millivolts. Okay, I'm reading 0 because these, I made sure that they were counterclockwise all the way to 0 millivolts. Yes, and I'm going to put this to millivolts. So, okay, counterclockwise is at minus 0.2. Let's start adjusting the right channel. And remember, I need 20 millivolts, okay? And we'll measure it again. They say 15 to 20 minutes of warm-up time, just to be sure. So we're at 20.1, and this is the right channel. I'm going to go after the left channel now, and we'll come back to the right one after a while. Okay. So we're doing the left channel. I think I'll bring you closer to this one just so you guys can actually see. Bring this here. Okay, so my probes is between the left channel emitter resistors, both of them. Turn this around, and there it is. There's my left channel, there's my pod. Let's see if I can adjust this to 20 millivolts. Opening this up clockwise, and there it goes. $20 millivolts. They're really touchy. 20.3. Okay guys, I'm all done with the setup, changing the STK module to the new ones. Check the DC balance, check the bias, which was set to 20 millivolts according to the service manual. I did check all the capacitors on here, and I've changed, nowhere to lie, all these orange ones were all high ESR. Some of them were really high ESR. You'll see that all these are all brand new caps. But anyways, I changed them with some new caps. I did check the major capacitors, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're checking okay. The pods were all cleaned out, and I did put the back plate back on, but you can see right through these, the new STK modules are sitting nice and pretty in there. And this thing is working flawless. Apparently I lost one of the clips that I was supposed to measure the wattage and compare it with the old STKs that I had on, but I kind of lost that clip, so the owner of this receiver was good enough to bring it back on the bench so I could do this again. So here we are. Actually, the owner is sitting right behind me. It's my first time that I have...
Supervising him.
Yeah. It's my first time that I have an audience behind me. But anyways, I'm already set up, and I just want to show you guys the wattage or the power that's going to come out of these new STK modules that I just installed on this. Okay, so there we go. I have my 8 ohm load frequency generator on here at 1000 hertz, and I have it hooked up through my auxiliary, going through my scope. And there we go. I'm going to power this up. I'll bring you guys closer so you guys can see. And I've also have my multimeter hooked up to the left channel. We're bringing this up, and we're going to measure on a multimeter as well. Okay. And right now I'm measuring at 20.8 on both channels. And on my multimeter, I'm measuring 21.9. And if I remember correctly, the other STKs that I had on, I think I measured 20.4, so I'm a little higher with these brand new modules. And the owner, he's telling me that it sounds fantastic. Happy that he showed up, and at least he could tell us that it sounded a lot better than the STK that was originally in this before. I'm going to try to set the analog meter, the watch channel. I want to see if it's bang on according to the RMS that I'm getting out of my scope. Okay, if it's 50 watts here, I want to know if my needles here are at 50 watts. So here we go. Multimeter on my speaker terminal. Function goes to auxiliary. Okay, and I have auxiliary, and I have a 1 kilohertz single going through it. So if I bring the volume knob to 20 volts RMS, my meter should be reading 50 watts per channel. Okay, so we're going to try that. So right now I'm hooked up to the left channel, bringing this up to 20. Pretty touchy, eh? I'd say that's close to 20, eh? AC voltage 20 RMS. So I'm measuring the left channel, and they're pretty close to each other. They're synchronized, but they're not bang on at 50 watts. So I'm going to adjust that to 50 watts. I'm going to do the left channel first. You guys ready? There we go. I'm bringing it to 50 watts per channel. And I'm going to do the same thing with the right, because I know, even though I only have one multimeter on the left channel, this is hooked up to the left and the right channel. I have two channels on here. Okay, they're both equal, so I'm going to bring this to 50. So if I have 20 volts RMS, my needle should be on 50, and now after setting them, I know they're at 50. This is set properly right now. Okay, so I am going to kick this back. This is working overtime. It's not even warm. Look at that. Perfect. I'm going to put the bottom plate on. The bias has been set to 20 millivolts. There's no DC voltage. I'm going to put the bottom plate back on. Safe to take the bottom tape out of there. Okay guys, the Pioneer SX780 is ready to go back to his rightful owner with the brand new power pack STK module. You can call them prototype, I suppose. I do believe that they are going to work well with this, and I can't wait for him to test it out. He would have the knowledge of what it sounded before and after. I didn't really test this out. The only thing that I was able to show you guys is the wattage is about the same as with the old STK 0050 that were in it already. And if you like the video, thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it.
That's good. Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll have to do.
Yeah, I better make sure that I have this, eh?
I'll tell you that my speaker